Alrighty, welcome back everyone. Scarland here, bringing you a new Neverwinter video. Happy New Year to everyone as we begin 2021. I wish everyone the best of themselves and what you can accomplish in this new year. So without further ado, as the title suggests, Cryptic announced the next content update. Now, I don't want to necessarily call this Mod 20, and we'll get into that momentarily. So, if you haven't heard, I'm sure everyone has, we're going back to Sharandar. Sharandar. Yes, that's right. Sharandar. It's been a long time since we fought Malabog, Sharandar campaign, and all of its contents. You know, you're talking about years ago. So, we are going to have a Sharandar part 2, essentially, or a version 2. And I actually like that personally because I always liked and enjoyed Sharandar. I enjoyed the maps. I enjoyed the ambience that the zones brought. I really didn't necessarily like Malabog's castle, to be honest. It's not one of my favorite dungeons or anything. But just the overall feeling of, like, the witches and like the mystical forest and everything. I always liked that. It always captivated me. It's definitely one of my favorite maps and zones in the game. So yeah, we're going back to Sharandar, kids. So let's see what we got here. February 9th, which is going to be PC. So February 9th, return to the magic of Feywild in the upcoming module Neverwinter Sharandar. So they are calling it a module. Okay, so again, we'll get into this momentarily, but is this actually going to be Mod 20? I'm assuming it is. Experience a completely reimagined adventure zone, a new campaign, story, and social hub as you venture back into this mystical land. So let's analyze that momentarily here. We have a new adventure zone, so it's going to be a new map. It's not going to be, the same old Sharandar. This is going to be a new map, a brand new map. We have a new campaign to go with said map. I highly doubt you're going to be able to use your old Sharandar currency for the new campaign. There's going to be brand new currency, guys. I've already had people asking me if they should start investing heavily into Genie's Gifts because you can turn Genie's Gifts into Sharandar currency. I'm going to safely say that that's not going to be the case. It's going to be all brand new currency. Now, will they intertwine the old currency with the new currency? I don't know. But again, it's highly unlikely that that's going to happen. This is going to be all brand new things into the game. A new storyline, obviously. And this is what's interesting here is a new social hub. So, they're going to have like a new zone or some kind of new social hub. Like maybe where the Wandering Emporium was in the middle of Avernus, and they're going to call that a social hub. It's kind of interesting. We have Protector's Enclave, even Valenhas itself can be a new social hub, considered a social hub, even though Valenhas in Mod 18 was a whole map on its own. You have that social aspect right in the beginning of the map. With Mod 19, we saw 2 of those. We had the Redeemed Citadel as the main hub or city, but we also had the Wandering Emporium, which served as, a social hub to get quests and meet other players, etc. So we are going to get some kind of new focal point of a social hub, new campaign, new map. So yeah. And let's get into it here. So 3 episodes, right? This is going to be 3 episodes long, so they are continuing the trend of episodic content. We saw the first episodic content with the limited time campaign of the Redeemed Citadel. Now you have to take note that this is not like the Redeemed Citadel per se. This isn't going to have a battle pass. This isn't a limited time thing. This is a permanent feature of the game. However, they are continuing the episodic content. So they're telling us up front there's going to be 3 episodes. Adventurers will explore the unsettling darkness that has crept across the Feywild with new enemies and rumors of an ancient Fey being. Now me, I don't know anything about lore, right? I don't play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know anything about the lore. So your boy Nova, I'm sure, has already covered this. If he hasn't, I'm sure he will put out a video. Nova loves the lore. He loves going in depth and actually going and looking at the lore and seeing what's going on. So if you're interested into that, I highly recommend Nova's channel. Obviously, you should know who he is. But I don't know anything about that. So talking about this ancient Fae being, whoever the boss is of this, I have no idea. So episode 1 is going to be called The Iron Tooth. And it will send heroes to the ruins of Malabog and the new Vault of Stars dungeon. Okay? So we are still dealing with Malabog to a degree. We know episode 1 is going to be called The Iron Tooth. And there is 100% confirmation a new dungeon. It's going to be called the Vault of Stars. Now, episode 2, which will most likely be a month later if they keep the same timeline with episodic content. So PC is going to get this on February 9th, so you can expect March 9th for PC to get episode 2. It's going to be called The Soul Keeper. And then episode 3, again, another month down the road. So now we're looking at April 9th, give or take. You know, the dates are subject to change, but they're about a month apart. And we have The Odious Court. We'll continue the story at later dates. So there's no determined times for episode 2 and episode 3. They could be 2 months apart for all we know. But judging from the Redeemed Citadel, they'll most likely be a month apart, and we'll just have to wait and see. Stay tuned for more in-depth information with developer blogs and everything. So there'll be sneak peeks of everything up until February 9th, basically. And of course, Sharandar will release February 9th on PC. However, console gets it a month later. So console isn't getting this until March 9th, and then you can go a month in advance for each episode. Let's go ahead and watch the trailer here. Make sure my sound's turned on. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. I got the wrong settings on. Here, hopefully you guys will have sound. There we go. Just a small little trailer.
With the aid of heroes from Neverwinter, the Iliambruan elves finally defeated the armies of Malabog, the Fomorian king, who threatened the Feywild home of Sharandar. But the peace did not last.
A visitor. I've been dying to meet you.
And there you go. There's the trailer. Just a small teaser, but like I said, if we rewind and just analyze it a little bit here, like, you know, you could see some of the, you know, map. This is probably the new map right here. As they continue, this is probably all the new map. This is probably maybe the new social hub. Right here's the social hub. But look how amazing this map looks. Oh, I missed it. Sorry. A little slow on the pause. My bad. My bad. Yeah, here you go. Here's a good image. This is probably what the map is going to look like. Like I said, it's very elf-like. It's very magical. You know, it's the Feywild. It's what you would expect. Very mystical, magical, witchy, you know, whimsical to a degree. And I like that personally. So, you know, we have castles. All looks like elven castles and everything. Might be a boss right here. Get a close-up. This could be the boss. Again, Nova probably knows more about the actual lore than I do. But this could be a boss of some sort, some kind of tree folk. You know, it is what it is. But, yeah, you know, there we have it. You know, this could be images of the dungeon right here. You know, this also could be a boss right here. Right there. That's probably the boss of the dungeon. If I had to guess, this, what appears to be a witch, an ogre witch or something, this is probably the boss of the dungeon, most likely. Vault of the Stars is what it's called, and this is probably the final boss. So I can't wait to stab her right in the eye, I guess. Or him. I mean, I'm assuming it's a woman, but, you know, it's 2021. We don't have genders. So I'm going to stab it right in the eye. So there it is, folks. There's the trailer. And then very briefly, I just want to bring up the roadmap and talk to it here, and then we're going to end this video. So let's zoom in on the roadmap. This is the roadmap that we were giving before the Redeemed Citadel started. So here we are now in 2021, right? We're in January. Now, if we're looking at this, it says that Mod 20 is to be announced, right? And they weren't even supposed to announce it almost until February. But at the same time, looking at this analytically and logically, they announced it early January, and then this would line up because it's the beginning of February. So February 9th is when Mod 20 is, right? Even though it says to be announced, it's just we didn't know it yet. They already knew it, obviously, and it's right on schedule here. So February 9th is right where the line is for Mod 20. Now, my question is what happened to the foreshadowing? You can see here, the new story arc foreshadowing. Is this not happening now? Because keep in mind, back before Mod 18, we also had a foreshadowing event, if you guys remember. That's what Rage of Bell was. Rage of Bell was the foreshadowing event that led into Valenhas and Mod 18. And I thought perhaps they were going to do that again with Mod 20. So it says that there's a new story arc and some foreshadowing. However, I don't see any events coming out here within the next couple weeks that will then take us into Mod 20. So I don't know if they scrapped the foreshadowing or if they're just including the foreshadowing in with Mod 20. I don't really know. When a developer and a company gives and puts out a roadmap, it's always subject to change. It's only a diagram to give you some kind of hints and indication of what's to come. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's written in stone and that it is factually going to be put into the game. This is kind of just like, hey, this is what we have on the schedule for X amount of time, and we hope to stick to it, but maybe some things are going, pending to change. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the foreshadowing. I'm going to say that Sharandar version 2 is in fact Mod 20 because we can see that they have the episodes listed out here. Episode 1, Episode 2, but however the dates aren't lining up, right? Or maybe they are. Like I said, I thought that they would be a month apart, so PC gets it on February 9th. However, maybe it's 2 months, which would go, February to March, March to April, and then another 2 months, I don't know, guys. I mean, we have the roadmap. We can make some hypothesis on the information we have, but we don't ultimately know until the company officially announces it. So, Mod 20, we know, factually, is going to be February 9th. I thought maybe 1 month per episode, but maybe it is in fact 2 months. If we look at the roadmap as a whole, we do have the new dungeon listed here. So now we know for a fact that this is Vault of the Stars. We have scaling improvements that may or may not be done. And then we have the new events reward system, which I don't know if they complete it or not. So these are still up in the air. As far as the scaling goes, maybe they're considering the overall combat rework as the scaling improvements, because we don't really have a release date on that yet either. That's still being heavily tweaked and tested on the preview server currently. So we don't actually know what scaling improvements phase 3 means, if that's the overall combat rework that we're testing right now. We don't really know. And then we have the new event reward system. We have no idea what this means. And then just peeking down, we do have Feast of Lanterns coming up, etc. And then for, the episodes, what Masterworks coming up, we have the Siege rework coming up, Skirmishes rework. This is taking us all the way into midsummer at this point. And then we have Mod 21 being announced, almost toward the end of the year. So, yeah, we also have new class. Don't forget about the new class. That's still hiding up here. We might see the new class by the end of next year. Who knows? So I just wanted to briefly talk about this stuff. Leave me comments below. If you're excited for Sharandar, do you think that it should have been something else? Because keep in mind, this is Cryptic Studios saying, hey, yeah, we follow, Wizards of the Coast to a degree, but we still can do our own thing, right? Because to my knowledge, Dungeons and Dragons is progressing down into the Rime Fire. So they're going back to, Storm King's Thunder, and they're dealing with stuff in, the past with Maiden of the Rime Fire, I believe it's called. While Cryptic Studios decided to go in a completely different direction, which they're allowed to do. And now we're going back to Sharandar. Now, me personally, like I said, I'm excited for this. I can't wait to see what comes out of it. And, hopefully you guys are somewhat excited. Maybe some of you are disappointed. You're allowed to have your own opinion. Go ahead, leave me comments below. Let me know how you're feeling. Thank you for watching the video as always. Again, Happy New Year to all of you. Best luck in 2021. I wish you guys all of the good fortune. Thank you again for watching. That's all I got for you today, folks. I'll see you guys real soon.